Thank you to Yanmar for bringing us this video series. Don't settle for less when you can have more. Yanmar's tractors are designed to work as hard as you do for a lifetime. Strengthen your dealership with Yanmar today.
How many of you have been in the same boat I am often and you just say, it's just easier if I do it myself? Oh, every day. Like, it's just easier if I do it myself. This is something that I have constantly had to try to work through and understand for my own self. But this is how we delegate. Let's just break it down and talk about how do we delegate, because if we're not delegating, we're not growing. If you want to grow your business by 20%, you've got to be able to hand off 20% more of your business to somebody else to take care of. There is only one of you. Are you aware of that? Like, there is only one of you. And you can't ask somebody else. Nobody else can be you. You bring so many unique things to your business that you can't duplicate yourself. Well, that would be nice probably at times. It's just not possible. So we've got to learn how to delegate. So how do we delegate? The first thing is, we can't assume the person that we're delegating to has a full understanding of what you do every day to get the things you do done. Did you catch that? Even though they're around you, even though they see what you're doing, you can't assume that they understand every aspect of what you do every day to get the things done. So we are going to slow down and we are going to communicate clearly with them. This means, maybe it means depending on the person, we have a step-by-step list of what it looks like for them to take over an area and help you with this area. I don't know, Natalie, you've been on our team for 2 years now? What? Yeah, and Natalie took over our accounting about 2 years ago. And in this process, it has been a slow process. Like, a lot of times when you delegate, it's not just this thing where you just say, here's all the reins. Like, you are in control. I know I delegated this to you yesterday, but you are in control now. Congratulations. Like, congratulations, Natalie. You were on our team yesterday, and you are now over all of our accounting. That's not how delegation works. Not effective delegation, at least. So when we delegate things, we have to slow down, and we have to communicate specifically what we are needing them to do. And we are going to, in this, as we're slowing down and communicating, we're going to be meeting with them on a regular basis to make sure that they're understanding how we're doing things and how we want it done. So maybe that looks like with the example of Natalie coming and helping with our accounting and moving that over. We didn't just start the first day and say, all right, Natalie, it's all on you. Like, I get it. Like, this is cash flow. This is payroll. Like, it's all on you. Good luck. Hope that goes well. No, that's not what you do. You have small goals that you're moving towards with this person so that they can help take things off of your plate. So we're meeting regularly. We're slowing down and communicating. We're not going to micromanage them. Okay, how many of you struggle with this? When we're trying to delegate things, we decide that we're going to have to micromanage the person. I get it. I do too. I do too. So if we trust somebody enough to give them a responsibility, and we are slowing down and communicating with them, and we're meeting with them on a regular basis, we don't have to micromanage. Otherwise, you're taking the same amount of time and energy that you would have before when we said, it's just easier if I do it by myself. Like, that's because sometimes when we get to that place, it's because we feel the need to micromanage every step of the way, and we haven't established that trust with the other person. But that trust is established by slowing down and communicating with them. Lastly, as we are delegating, we have to be willing to give the resources and authority for them to do what we've asked them to do. All right? So maybe that means your parts department. Maybe you've asked somebody to do the inventory on your parts department and make sure that our inventory counts are up to date. And so maybe what they need in regards to the resources and authority is maybe they need a barcode scanner to make sure that it's accurate like you've asked them to, so that you don't have to be double checking their work and spending the time with that. Understand what resources and authority are needed to actually delegate a task to someone effectively. So those are our three things. We're slowing down to communicate. We're not going to micromanage them, but we're going to meet with them regularly. And we're going to give them the resources and authority to do what they need to do. So I had once heard this quote that if a job is done 80% as well as you would have done it, it has to be enough. Everyone is different. How you get to the desired outcome for every person is different. As we've looked at the assessments, it's clear that there are no two people in here who have exactly the same behaviors and exactly the same motivators. But as long as we are getting to the desired outcome and we have our processes in place, there should be no reason that you feel like you have to micromanage this. You know, the joke I always use is the fact that I have almost 6-year-old identical twin girls. And if we are going to talk about actually replicating yourself, like we're as close as you got here at the Hay household, we got identical twin girls who are 6.5. But at their core, they are so very different of people. Like literally they have exactly the same DNA. Like it's like literally a replication. But how they go about doing things is very, very different. Sure, they could get to the same desired outcome, but they're not going to do it the same way. And as a manager and a coach, we have to be able to understand that 80% of a job done is well enough for you, right? We've followed the processes. We've put those all in place. That should not be something we're struggling with. We've already got that all in place when we're delegating. So it's about letting go and having regular times to meet up with this person to make sure we're still on track.